Chicken Marsala is one of the most popular Italian-American dishes in both restaurants and at home, but it's often behind the times in terms of flavor, and all too often the chicken is tough and stringy. I'm going to show you a method here that takes just a little bit more work, but it'll produce a dish that's absolutely packed with flavor and chicken that's so tender you can cut it with the side of your fork.
The first step with this is to cut these mushrooms in a particular way. What we're going to do is we're going to get rid of the edges like this. Take a couple of slices in the middle. Okay, maybe one more. These have nice flat surfaces, and the ones with the rounded edges are going to be used in making the sauce, as you'll see. And this is what we end up with. We have a bowl here with the flat slices. I'm going to put that tablespoon of lemon juice on this. This will help the mushrooms stay fresh. They won't start aging and looking nasty, and it'll also help flavor them. So part of the recipe, the flavor of the dish. And then we have these kerf pieces and a couple of cloves of garlic. Now, what I'm going to do with the garlic is I'll just take a knife and crush it like that under the knife. And we're ready to begin cooking this in the butter. I have 22 grams, about 3/4 of an ounce of butter here. I'm going to begin melting it, and then I'll add the mushrooms and the garlic to it. And once the butter's foamed up, we're going to add these mushrooms and garlic and begin cooking this. This is at a fairly high heat, just over 7. We want to really develop some good flavor on there. We want to get this butter browned. Okay, it's been about 8 minutes now by the clock, and you can see these mushrooms are quite browned. I'm killing the heat now. I'm going to let this cool down just a little bit before I drain it. So it's actually been about 10 minutes now, that this has been simmering away. I'm going to strain the butter off into this dish here that we're going to use to cook the chicken. That's fine. And then the solids for this, from this, the mushrooms and the garlic are going to go into this blender cup, along with the wine for this. And now, next I'm going to get the seasoning mix ready for the chicken. I've got 2 tablespoons of flour there. I'm adding 3/4 of a teaspoon of paprika and 3/4 of a teaspoon of thyme. Just going to give this a little quick stir around first. And then, once it's stirred, I'm going to put it into a plastic bag that we're going to do the old shake and bake routine with once we get the chicken set up here. I have a large chicken breast I'm sandwiching here between sheets of cling film. And pounding it. You want to make it even, uniform thickness, about 1/4 of an inch ideally. Don't try to do it in one hit, of course. Take your time, work it evenly, make it nice. Each strike that you put here is breaking up muscle fibers. It's making it more tender. So it's in your own interests to do it gently with a lot of strokes. A few big strokes is not going to tenderize it nearly as much as a lot of small strokes, believe it or not. And you get to the point where it's evenly flattened. You can open this up. We have our paillard now. And we coat it in that brown butter that the mushrooms and the garlic was in, as even as possible. And then it goes into the plastic bag that had the flour, paprika, and thyme in it. And we'll just toss it around here and get it even. And you can let it sit here for a few minutes while we begin heating up the olive oil for cooking it. Once the pan heats up a little bit, we're going to add some olive oil to this. Even though this is primarily a butter dish, we want to actually cook the chicken in olive oil. And the pan is hot, but it's not scorching hot. And get the chicken in the pan. Now we're going to season it with salt on this side. Remember, it's the only salt that it's received so far. And after roughly 3 minutes, turn it over. And after 2 or 3 minutes on that side, we're going to transfer it to a plate and hold it. We're going to add the rest of that butter, the other 22 grams. And then add those mushrooms, the flat surface ones that were soaked in lemon juice. This is like, scrape up any bits off the bottom of the pan. This is your fond, this is your flavor. The heat is still on 7 out of 1 to 10 here. We're going to cook these quite well. To develop flavor on them. It's important for mushrooms, especially this kind of mushroom. Champignons, button mushrooms that don't have a ton of flavor on their own anyway. Okay. After about 3 minutes here, these mushrooms start to get some good color on them. Now we're going to add the wine and the garlic and the mushrooms that were previously cooked and pureed. We're going to begin reducing this. After about a minute, I'm reducing the heat down from 7 finally to 4. And this is starting to thicken up, as you can see. So I'm going to put the chicken back in it. And the flour that's in here is also going to help thicken the sauce, the flour that was on the chicken. And we're going to keep simmering this at lower it down even a little bit more. I'll go down to 3 on 1 to 10. And just let it simmer here for a little bit. Finish cooking the chicken and thickening up the sauce. Meanwhile, if you're cooking pasta, you should have this underway at the same time.
If you want to know more about my adventures as a chef around the world and have some great laughs along the way, be sure to check out the video tour of my book, 40 Years in One Night. It's up on YouTube right now. Click the link. If you like my videos, look for my cookbook, now available through Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and other internet bookseller sites. Also look for my cocktail book, Cocktails of the South Pacific and Beyond, Advanced Mixology, available through Amazon online.